For godly sorrow produces repentance, leading to salvation, not to be regretted, but the sorrow of the world produces death. Come, join me for some farming fellowship, where we tackle our day-to-day farming operations and we learn about Jesus Christ. I look forward to seeing each of you along with me in the video.
Sunrise breaking over open land, calloused hands and a plow in hand. Every road tells a story of grace, mercy falling on this place. What was broken can live again. What was lost can rise from the wind. This is a second harvest, fields of hope beneath these skies, where the seed meets redemption and dead things come alive. Yeah, we're sowing with a promise in the soil and in our hearts. This is second harvest, where new beginnings start. Second Harvest Farm.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode here on Second Harvest Farms. As you can see, we are liming what was our soybean field. So amidst getting all the other tasks completed and the fields prepped, I honestly completely forgot all about this field. So we do need to get it limed. We got some planting to get done this month as well, and so we can move into April and finish up our planting season. I do believe we're going to be planting corn next month, but we can plant peas and potatoes here in the month of March. So that is the plan, to get those two fields planted and prepped so that way they're good to go. I'm not 100% sure if we have to cultivate before. I don't think the potato planters are no-till. Either way, we're going to actually be cultivating what was our cornfield last year and planting potatoes in that field. So, and then we will be planting corn in this field here, and then planting our peas in our other field. So, that's going to be the main tasks to get completed for this episode. We do have $105,000, as you've probably seen in the thumbnail. We did make an upgrade. So we were able to sell off our other Fendt tractor, the smaller one, and we were able to purchase a Fendt Vario 1000 for $172,000. We ended up getting about $42,000 from our other tractor, so we actually didn't make out too bad off of that. I did actually go ahead and do some contracts kind of throughout the winter to store up some extra money. Got a lot of plans for year two here. Lots of things to get done, lots of things to purchase. So we needed to kind of maximize the time that we have to make some extra money while it was available. So I did go ahead and maximize that time throughout the winter months and move through winter with some contracts. One of the other things I also did was I went ahead and moved our older heifers over to the heifer barn. And so anything that is 8 months or older is getting moved over there. In I think about 3 months, we will go ahead and purchase a bull, and we'll put that bull inside the heifer barn as well. So that way we can work on getting those bred. And then once they are a month away from freshening, we'll move them over into the cow barn so that way they can make sure they're producing milk and we don't lose any milk production from having them inside the heifer barn. So that is kind of a lot of the major updates. We obviously were, shuffling our milk around. We actually are only making about just under 8,000 liters of milk per day. So that's one thing that I do kind of want to make a focal point for year two, is we need to start getting a good revenue stream so we can actually start, kind of moving forward, not to expedite the actual series itself, but because it's going to require so much upfront cost for us to really get moving that I really want to focus on some revenue streams that are going to be able to kind of propel us in that direction. Number one, so we can actually, offer more produce and products. And then that way we can actually offer more things to the ministry. So a lot of things to look forward to. I mean, we're planning on getting sheep. That won't happen until next episode. We do need to harvest our hayfield again. And then, that also leads us into needing another field. There's a lot of things that we got to look at, and it's going to cost an absolute fortune to get it done. But that's what makes it fun, because it's not going to end the series right away. Gives us time to continue to plan this map. I'm absolutely loving this map. So a little bit more catch up just real quick, kind of in the off season, or not in the off season, thinking about sports here, but in the winter months. So we did go ahead and tithe, $5,000 for October, $3,900 for November, $4,900 for December, $10,000 for January. And I didn't look at February's yet. I was going to go ahead and do that here shortly, as I did just move into the month of March. And then as I was looking at the tasks that need to be completed, I didn't quite add up all of our income for the month of February. I don't think it'll be too much. I think all we did was sell our milk, and then we didn't do any contracts, obviously, because there wasn't any available. So that is kind of, I think, everything caught up for the winter months that I did, kind of progress through on my own. We talked about the tasks that we need to get done. One of the revenue streams that I'm looking at kind of diving into is the restaurant. Now, I don't know for sure. I'm going to look more into it. But from my understanding is we can purchase a restaurant, requires zero input, but it does give us a monthly income. So that's one thing that we can do. And one of the really cool things that I think we can do as well with utilizing, the restaurant, is we can actually, kind of role play it as utilizing it as like a soup kitchen. Those who are hungry and in need can come in, and we'll open it up once a week, and we'll donate, food, and so they can come in and eat. So I think we can, justify it in that sense, because we can role play it in what honestly other people do as well. And, any excess that we have, role play donating, things like that. So that is one of the revenue streams that I'm looking at. I think would be a wise purchase for us to do early on in year 2. So we're going to look at what that cost, and then look at how we can maximize income to propel us in that direction. And then, we can obviously make decisions based off of other productions and things like that going forward. And with that in mind, one of the other things I did think about as far as productions, so we are going to do the processed food production. But I think what we'll do, and I mean, this might seem kind of counterproductive, but I think just initially it's going to give us the best benefit of the doubt, is we will lease the productions, especially the processed food production, while we don't have enough produce in order to sustain it year long. So right now, with only going to have peas, I don't know exactly how much peas we'll get off the field and how long that'll last us. But what we will do is, as soon as we're done harvesting, we'll lease the production site. We will put all of our peas inside there, and we will utilize that production until all the peas are canned. Once that's done, we will then go ahead and release and terminate the lease of that contract. And then we will continue to do that, so forth, until we have enough produce or product to be able to sustain it year round with multiple different things. That's kind of my plan right now. I'm obviously open to suggestions and ideas. Feel free to please leave those down in the comment section. Not just for myself, but it also, adds things for other people to be able to look at, and ideas for them to be able to utilize as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's just start getting after some of this work. We're going to focus on getting this field cultivated. And then, like I said, we're going to be planting potatoes in our cornfield, peas in this wheat field. And then we will see what else we got left.
I have not seen you with my eyes, but my heart has come alive. By faith I stand, by grace I rise. You are my hope inside. Though the storm may shake my soul, and tears may fall like rain, there's a fire that the world can't hold. Your joy remains. And even now, though I don't see, I believe. The joy of the Lord is my strength. You are my song in the night. In your presence my heart is awakened. In your presence is fullness of joy. I rejoice with a hope unshaken. Glory flooding my soul, you are here. And my heart is certain. In your presence I am whole. Whom having not seen, I love. Whom I trust with all my days. My unseen King, my risen one. Forever I will praise. Joy inexpressible, overflowing now, full of glory in this place. As before you I bow. Even in the fire, you are joy. Even in the trial, you are joy. Faith is rising higher. You are joy. You are my strength. Glory, glory, my heart will sing. Glory, glory to Christ my King. Joy of the Lord is my strength. You are my song in the night. In your presence my heart is awakened. In your presence is fullness of joy. Joy inexpressible, full of glory. You are my strength, forever my victory.
All right, so we have made it over here, getting ready to plant our peas. That's our first field that we're going to go ahead and plant. Once we're done with this, we'll jump over and plant our potatoes in the next field. I see it's not using any fertilizer. We're just going to jump out here. I just want to double check and make sure that we are good. And it looks like we are good to go. So it looks like we have more nitrogen than what we need, at least for peas. Let's just jump over here. The nitrogen, it says 60. Okay. So we obviously need none for our peas, which is a good thing. I'm okay with that. It'll definitely save us quite a bit of money in the long run, at least for this field and for this year. I did want to go ahead and talk about the verse that we talked about in the intro episode. It comes out of 2 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 10. I'm just going to read it again. It says, "For godly sorrow produces repentance, leading to salvation, not to be regretted, but the sorrow of the world produces death." You know, oftentimes I think it's a commonality to say that nobody likes to necessarily be corrected. And it's not what I would consider to be enjoyable, especially for a short piece, a short season. But it is something that is necessary. And, God continuously tells us that those whom he corrects, he loves. And it's important that correction comes, but I think it's important as well to know that it comes from the right place, right? Correction in the right way will produce that fruit, right? It produces the change you're looking to see. It produces the desired outcome. But if we have chastisement or correction that comes from a place of hatred or a place of pride or a way that portrays being better than somebody else, I think it oftentimes brings on that sorrow that I was talking about of the world that produces death versus sorrow that produces repentance. But even us, right, when it comes to delivering correction, can be very difficult too, because we don't want to be the ones that bring sorrow or the ones that bring that feeling of shame into somebody. But it also is important that we understand, we have to deliver correction just as much as we have to be corrected. But just do it out of a place of love and understand that, oftentimes if someone is trying to remind us or show us something that is a fault in our life, it doesn't always mean it's that they're trying to portray they're better or that we're just, these terrible people who never do anything right. It can be because they love us and they want to see us be pushed forward. Or we talk about all the time how, good friends will tell you when you're doing something right and they'll encourage you in the right things, but also, they're not afraid to tell us when we're doing something wrong, and that is to, help us and push us forward in the right direction. So I just want to kind of talk about that a little bit. I know it's a difficult thing, and I know for a long time, and even now, even having the understanding, I still do, not necessarily enjoy correction, but I appreciate it more than what I did, 2 years ago before I gave my life to Christ, understanding that I need to be reminded of the things that I'm doing wrong so I can be held accountable and can be pushed forward to doing the right things in the way that God wants us to do them. So I hope that encourages everybody. Definitely, the next time someone comes and tell you you're doing something wrong, or, maybe do something different, maybe try not to take it as an insult or condemnation, but in a way of understanding, number one, check, are you actually doing something wrong? If you are, then how can we fix it? How can we move forward so we are doing things the right way? So I just want to encourage everyone with that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get some peace planted. All right, we got our pea field planted. Only used about 40% of our seed. Still quite a bit of seed left, which we will be utilizing to plant our potato field, as well as the fertilizer. So what we're going to do is we're going to head back to the farm. We're going to get the seeder unloaded, and then I do have to lease the potato planter, so we will be taking care of that. I will be hooking up the roller to our John Deere, and then I'm going to go ahead and send a worker to take care of the rolling on this field for us. I do know that on Carpathian countryside there are a few crops that do not need rolling, and I don't remember if peas is one of them. So we're just going to go ahead and roll it. I do know potatoes does not need rolling, corn does not need rolling, sunflowers does not need rolling, as well as I believe like sugar beets and things like that. But because I'm not 100% sure about the peas, to me it makes sense to roll them. So we're just going to go ahead and roll it. And then I'll head down and grab the seeder from the shop for potatoes, get that all filled up, and then catch up with everyone whenever we're back at the field. All right, so we are completely moved over, and we are planting potatoes. Now, it does not have any fertilization, so we'll have to take care of that. I did do some quick checking on Farming Simulator's website for Carpathian countryside, and it does not mention anything about peas or spinach or green beans as far as needing to be rolled. Now, I do believe they are in the vegetable category, which does go along with sugar beets, potatoes. So the assumption more than likely would be doesn't have to be rolled. But because there's no specification, we are going to go ahead and roll it. And actually, maybe let's just do this. I don't remember if it said it needed to be rolled on the actual thing. So, growth stage, land area, crop growth. So it doesn't say it needs to be rolled. So I guess more than likely it probably does not. But like I said, we're just going to go ahead and cover our bases just so we know, and it's done. So we are going to go ahead and get this field planted with potatoes. And then from here, we will get it fertilized. And then I think the last thing we're going to end up doing is we're going to run over to the restaurant. We're going to go ahead and take a look at what that's going to cost us to purchase and make a plan together on how we're going to accomplish that. So I'm going to get this field knocked out, and we'll catch up once all done. And just like that, we are just about done with our potato planting. Honestly, it didn't go too bad. I'm glad I rented the planter that I did, although a little bit more expensive than what I probably would have liked to have paid at around $7,000 to get it done. We did also have to purchase another 5,000 liters of seed, so that was quite costly for us. But thankfully, it worked out really well. We got done, and our worker got done literally at the same time. We are going to go ahead and get back to the farm. I'm going to get this planter unloaded, get it washed up, get it returned, and then we are going to go ahead and fertilize our potato fields, so that way that's done. And then we are going to grab our milk, get it moved over to our dairy, and on our way back, we will be checking out the restaurant. So I'll catch up with everyone in just a minute. All right, just like that, we are all done with fertilizing our potatoes. I do enjoy the tracks in FS25 and the impressions on the field, but kind of makes you concerned that maybe we're destroying crop. I did look. It doesn't show that we're destroying anything, so we should be good to go there. But we definitely did flatten some of the rows. But either way, we are all done fertilizing. I'm going to get this moved back. I'm going to get it put away, and we're going to get filled up with milk. We're going to get it moved over, and then we're going to go ahead and check out that restaurant. All right, dumping off our milk. As you can see, we do have some pallets of milk to go ahead and get moved. We'll get the 3 pallets put into the storage for us as well for the ministry. But we got our milk moved over. So let's go ahead and let's check out the restaurant. One more thing before we jump over there. I did go ahead and check the finances for February. We made about $25,000. So I did take out the tithe, the donation for the ministry, which was about $2,500. So just want to let everyone know. Let's go ahead and check out the restaurant. All right. So this is the restaurant, which I believe is Farmland 123. So if we go ahead and we were to purchase that, it would be $189,000. So as you can see, we're about $106,000, $107,000 short of where we need to be. Now we need to develop a plan of how we're going to come up with basically $10,000. And that's not, the total that we'll need to make, because we have costs throughout the month that we're going to have to deal with as well. So I think what we're going to go ahead and do is take a few of these contracts for the month of March. We're not going to take them all, and we're not just going to be doing, a ton of contracts, but I think moving into March, as we got planting, April is planting, we'll have some fertilizing to come up with, I believe in the next, month or two, that will go along with that. I think we'll go ahead and take a few of those contracts just to kind of help boost us up. I would like to invest some time and get that restaurant built, or not built, but bought. I don't know how much residual income it's going to create for us, but I do know that it will create some. And the best part is it's zero input for us. So that's why I want to go ahead and get that purchase as soon as possible, and kind of help propel us forward a little bit. So that will be one of the things that we're going to go ahead and look into, hopefully in the next few months. So we need to generate about $100,000. I would say hopefully within the next 6 months. But this is where we're going to go ahead and leave the episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. We will be doing some contracts in the next one. And then following that, we will be moving into corn planting, as well as making some hay and getting some sheep. So I will catch everyone in the next episode here, Second Harvest Farms.